To a creative mind, an anodized flat titanium knife handle is just canvas. So how do you go from this to this? Stick around and find out, step by step. Do you know what this blinking light means? It means get off your butt and do something fun. This is xTool F2, a dual laser. And ever since they sent it to me for my test review and videos, I've been having a lot of fun and I never stopped thinking of my next project. That's how consuming that became. Don't look at it as potential for profit, which it is. Don't look at it as a tool in your box, which it is. Think of it as a gateway to a lot of fun, because the possibilities go way, way beyond, engraving your mother-in-law's name on a coffee mug. Not that there's anything wrong with it. This can be your paintbrush and you can be an artist. Anyway, I digress. Fair warning, I'm a complete amateur when it comes to laser engraving, and you walking along that path with me. You're witnessing my growth, you're witnessing my failures, and hopefully some of the more expertly folks will start finally commenting in the comment section down below. I would really appreciate advice as I'm moving down that path. Tonight I have a very cool little project in mind. By little I mean overly ambitious. Tonight's victim of my endeavors is this small pocket knife you see on the table on the computer screen called Spyderco Tenacious. And I chose it as my next victim because it has absolutely flat titanium handle. And so I'm going to do things to it. To remind everybody, I am not a professional laser engraver. This is not a business for profit. I'm doing it just to have fun with my knife collection because I'm an enthusiast of all things cutlery and other everyday carry or EDC items. So this project started with the use of Gemini AI. That's the one that comes with Google. That's how I started the project. I took a photo. Let me go all the way to the beginning. I took this photo of the knife, and then I told AI, make a black and white line drawing of the knife handle, remove the blade, keep proportions of the handle exactly the same as in the photo. So let me dissect it a little bit. When you're working with AI, it's a same approach as if you have a trainee in your workplace. You basically have to talk to the AI as if it was a human, but not particularly experienced in everything that you are asking it to do. It just set up that way. And so it created this very decent image of the handle. Then I downloaded a Spyderco logo because that's where I'm going with this. And I said, generate black and white outline of the logo without any background. And it created it. Takes less than a minute to do that. So then I said, create the pattern from the logo and transfer it to the handle multiple times to fit as many logos as possible without interlocking them and make the pattern sporadic with each logo in a different orientation. And so it gave me a decent first attempt, but that wasn't exactly the look I was going for, so I gave it additional instructions right here. And here I said, add more logos onto the handle to increase the pattern's density, allow logos to overlap, basically very similar to instructing a human trainee. And the AI responds. So now already I am getting almost where I want to be. In my mind, I have the end result already. And then I directed it to make one instance of the logo black because I want one of them to stand out. You will see how it turns out. And it didn't quite interpret my instructions correctly. And in my next instruction, I told it to move the logo lower and to the right. And here it is. This is the pattern I'm going with. And that is the point at which Murphy and his law struck, and they also conspired with my inexperience, stupidity, I don't know. It'll become obvious to you in a second. Can you spot what I'm doing wrong here? Or more specifically, what I forgot to do? If you're experienced with laser engravers, you probably can. But if, like me, you're just learning, this is a very valuable lesson, and it's coming in a second. So it's doing what I told it to do, and to my horror, I realized two things. First of all, the handle was not replicated by AI precisely. It's getting totally out of bounds. And in addition, instead of line drawing, I'm getting a blurry surface removal pattern here, or image. And here's why. I slow-mode it for you so you can see. Can you see the dots are not lined up? That means the laser is out of focus. So after an hour of hand sanding and then hand polishing the handle, I had to re-anodize it using all these household items. Luckily, I had everything I needed to do so. But that may be a topic for a different video. And it also didn't turn out exactly as expected, because here's the color of the handle before I played with it, and here's the after. Okay, and then I changed my whole AI strategy and just created a pattern by painstakingly removing bits and pieces of background, and that's what I'm left with. So let's give it a shot again, and if I have to do it one more time after this, you know what they say, stupid should hurt. Maybe a good chance to go over the settings. Right now I have titanium selected here, and I added a dot duration. I'm going to add a little more and make it maybe 550 milliseconds per dot. I also increased the dot density to 400 dpi. I'm happy with that setting, and the power is at 90, so I'm going to bump it to 95. My friends, maybe now is a good time to do all these things to let me and the world know that you're enjoying this video. Right, if I have to rework it, I might as well buy a new knife. This is, by the way, a Spyderco Tenacious. This is one of the most basic models for Spyderco, which is a great American brand, but this model is made overseas. And I have to say, even in unmodified state, it feels a lot more premium than the price tag would suggest. But I don't want to digress from this topic, so I think I am ready. You know, I successfully turned a 20-minute project into an all-day affair here. And here's the pattern. You can see it better now. It's pretty painstaking, but AI did help me to create it, actually. So I'm still a big proponent of using AI, but treat it as a hard-working assistant. Leave the thinking power to this big, beautiful thing stuck between your ears. All right, fingers crossed. All right, so over there you can see I placed a dispensable card to protect the table, and it's just going to capture the handle within that pattern. So it's going to take a little longer, but this way it's going to look more uniform on the knife. It's still not doing what I wanted it to do. And so before it's too late, I'm going to pause it and cancel. And I think I need to add DPI or duration for each dot. So I'm going to go, it's not doing it deep enough to my desire. So I'm going to go and triple it. 1500 milliseconds per dot, so it's going to slow it down significantly, giving me time to do something else. Nothing moved, so I'm still good with the pattern, but the duration jumped quite a bit. Now we're getting dark lines. I hope you can see it, but if not, you'll see it in the end. Now I can step away without leaving the room. I have to peer at it. And I am just going to work on the other half of the handle, because in the end I want them to look close to each other. A note from future me. My future me ordered all the items necessary for anodizing titanium and other metals from Amazon, and he will provide links to these in the video description here. So if you're interested in this type of projects, you can just click on the links and check them out and see if it's the right tool or price for you. And I think the machine is done with the first pass. Let's take a closer look. That checkered pattern on the spider in the middle is kind of interesting, but not exactly what I wanted it to do, so I file it mentally away for a future project. And for now, I am going to add part 2 to the process. I want the Spyderco symbol to stand out a little bit more. I don't know if it's a spider or some other kind of insect. Anyway, I want it to be more pronounced. Is that the word? By the way, this insect is Spyderco's copyrighted logo. Since I'm not planning to resell this knife, I'm doing it for my own enjoyment, I don't think I'm in violation of any copyright laws. But you have to be careful about that and stay in compliance with your local laws and regulations. What I'm doing meanwhile is preparing the back scale or back half of the frame for anodizing. And it's sort of three-dimensional, so that makes it a little harder to do. But on the positive side, I don't have to remove incorrectly applied pattern. So it's actually going pretty fast. While it still has some time to go, I want to show you the inspiration knife for this project. This knife is made by Beaver engineering, and the model is called Lux. This particular knife was manufactured by a Chinese company called Riyadh, but when it came from Riyadh, it looked like this. And so what their engineering does, they select the best examples of what they got in the batch, and then in their custom shop, they do anodizing and this type of ornamentation. I have a video about their engineering on my channel if you're interested. Totally worth watching. Very interesting young man who runs the company. This inspired me to start thinking about projects like this. And it was very fortunate that xTool came forward and offered me this sample machine absolutely free of charge, just as long as I publish a few videos. And I think we are done. Let's examine the results. And here's the finished handle, or half of the handle, I should say. I feel like not only the visual interest was added, but also the knife's functionality was improved, because the pattern being slightly three-dimensional added tactile texture to the handle, and now it will be a lot easier to manipulate otherwise sleek knife in my hand. If you feel like I did okay with this, please let me know in the comments. It would really inspire me for the next video.